You know, it's funny how the mind works, isn't it? How the things you focus on, they grow. When you think of a red car, you start seeing red cars everywhere. How when you look for problems, they seem to multiply. Yet, what happens when you begin to notice, really notice, all the things, they've always been there, just waiting for you to see them. And I wonder, have you ever considered just how easy it is to remember something, or to forget? Like where you put your keys last Tuesday. It's interesting, isn't it? Some things just fade away, while others stay and replay. But what if you could choose? What if the past were like a deck of cards that you could simply shuffle, discard, keep the ones that serve you? Because the truth is, the mind, your mind, is powerful, more powerful than you ever realized. And it's always been doing what it thinks that you want, following the patterns, the instructions, the focus you give it. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to give it new instructions. As you listen to these words now, you might begin to notice a shift. Because you know what's fascinating? The past is not real. Not anymore. It's only a memory, a story, a film strip in your mind. And like any film, you can cut scenes, re-edit, fast forward, rewind, or simply fade to black. And the future, that's where all the possibilities live, waiting to be chosen, like stars in the sky, like doors ready to open. And as you begin to see that, really see it, you might notice something even more interesting. Right now, right here, in this very moment, it's where everything changes, where everything has already begun to shift. Because every breath brings a choice. Every blink rewrites a story. Every heartbeat pulses with a new possibility. And I wonder what happens when you begin to feel that deep inside. Because abundance, success, happiness, it's always been there, whispering, waiting, like hidden treasures in plain sight. And the more you look, the more you notice, the more they grow, until one day, maybe today, maybe now, you realize, you see things differently, don't you? And isn't it fascinating how the mind learns, or perhaps remembers, what it always knew? How a simple shift in focus changes everything. And the more you notice this now, the more you realize there's something that's already happening deep inside. Because it's always been there, hasn't it? That quiet knowing, that hidden awareness, that part of you that already understands, the part of you that knows how to breathe without thinking, how to balance without trying, how to heal without asking, the part of you that already knows how to change. And yet, isn't it curious how sometimes the mind plays tricks? How it highlights one thing and blurs another, like the way you used to focus on what was missing instead of what was growing, like the way you used to hold on to old echoes, while the music of your success played all around you. And yet now something else is happening, because your mind, your unconscious, is beginning to notice, beginning to shift, like turning the dial on a radio, tuning in to a different frequency, the frequency of abundance, the frequency of success, the frequency of now. And the more you listen, the more you notice, the more you begin to realize that the past was just an idea, that those old memories, those old patterns, they're just shadows cast by a mind that hadn't yet turned toward the light. And now you see differently. Now you feel differently, because something inside has changed. And it's funny, isn't it? How the more you focus on what's good, the more good there is to see. How the more you remember success, the more successful you become. How every moment, every breath, it rewrites the story of who you are. And as that awareness deepens, as that realization grows, you begin to see the truth, don't you? That the future, it isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. That the past, it isn't something you carry, it's something you release. So the present, right here, right now, is the place where everything begins. And maybe you've already noticed, maybe you're just beginning to realize, that you've already started seeing things differently, haven't you?